Hey everyone, this podcast is coming to you from the Psychic Dolphin Garage. You can support this show and our larger efforts to build a leftist community through podcasting over at patreon.com/Psychic Dolphin Garage. That's patreon.com/PSYCHICDOLPHIN Garage, which is spelled like it sounds.
I feel like this is not the first time we've referenced Gemini Man in this podcast, but the previous reference to it and this one now are the only two times I've ever heard of this fucking movie.
And it will probably continue until...
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think anyone saw it. The whole premise was going to be like, yeah, this plot has been bounced around script-wise since, like, the 90s or so. Like, Face-Off era. Like, the original person they cast in the role in the 90s was fucking Nicolas Cage.
Oh, boy.
Like, that level, okay? And then as time went on, it was going to be Clint Eastwood and I think his son.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know,
they
little
look so
Eastwood,
alike.
yeah. Like, you don't even need a CGI budget. Just be like, yeah,
Davey
that's
Eastwood, yeah.
Is Jaden Smith... Would Jaden Smith be a good landlord?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
He would barge in and be like, we're friends. Like, you give me money, but, like, we're cool. And that's why I think it's awesome.
And that's why I'm going to charge you extra money.
Oh,
yeah. No.
You go to complain about the plumbing. He's just says, how can the plumbing be real if your eyes aren't real, friend?
No, I don't think you understand. My bathroom is flooded, please.
Yeah, but is the water leaking or is the water revealing itself to you?
Is the water leaking into your apartment or is your apartment leaking out into the pipes? This fucking kid. No, I unironically stan Jaden Smith, thanks to the bad Netflix anime that I like. So, how could you? How could you even bring this up?
Apparently he shaved his head at Post Malone's music festival.
Mm-hmm.
Like, live on stage.
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
He's also undercutting water bottle companies by selling his paper bottles.
Also
water.
Good. Hell yeah.
No, Jaden, why? That's the lamest thing I've ever
It's
heard.
lame as shit, but that's great, yeah.
How?
I mean,
how is it great?
Because fuck water bottle companies.
Fuck plastic bottles.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, like, paper bottles, I'm not sure are the answer.
It's
I mean, it's
unorthodox,
recycled
maybe,
paper.
But yeah.
Also, Jaden Smith has a... hang on, I have an advertisement. Has a, quote, ambitious plan to provide clean water in Flint and the rest of America.
Well, okay, you know, like, even Elon Musk has an ambitious plan for shit. Like, what does that even mean? Like, I have an ambitious plan to bring clean water to Flint, Michigan. I'm going to flood Flint, Michigan using Lake Michigan.
No, but yes, the big meme this week has been everybody shitting on Hannibal Buress for being a landlord, and yeah, fuck him. That's great.
Well, how can people just be finding out about this? Like, this has been a known thing since, like, 2017.
Oh yeah, it's a known thing. Yeah, I just think, you know, memes are fickle, and sometimes they take off when you least expect it.
It just is weird because I remember in the music community when people found out that Waves, the DJ recording artist, what the fuck are they called these days, Zach?
Influencers.
Influencers. Yes, when self-described EDM producer and tummy tea salesman Waves jumped into the discussion. And people were like, I can't believe that he's a landlord. This is awful. Like, no, I mean, that's what happens, I think, most of the time when people get rich. Like, they either go into real estate and become landlords, or they become investors in tech bro companies.
Mm-hmm.
Like what Chameleonaire did. Like, he has made so much more money investing in companies that get bought by, like, Disney than any one of his singles will have ever done.
And also, was another weird thing that happened on Twitter, of all places. That really good and normal place where people have good takes all the time.
Regular website, yeah.
Apparently on left Twitter, there are a bunch of landlords, and they're like, I'm a landlord gamer. I'm the most oppressed.
I saw that, yeah. Fucking people have already made this joke, but what's the countdown?
Unironically, they said that.
What's the countdown until somebody says landlord is a slur?
Oh,
We prefer to be called people of real estate.
Old people have already started to act like this. They get upset when they get called boomers because apparently saying "okay, boomer" is basically like a slur now.
Or shut the fuck up, boomer. They've
fuck
literally
up,
said
boomer.
they've already said it's an ageist slur. Like, I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna come out and the Psychic Dolphin Garage is gonna say that shut the fuck up, landlord is an acceptable slur.
It's classist in the good way.
So I went digging when I first saw that we were going to be talking about this, and Hannibal posted something that is exactly what you just said. It's a fucking t-shirt that says "Shut up, landlord."
Holy fucking shit, that rules! It's only $20 too.
Yeah,
Damn.
He has been angry about it for the past week, and he continues to post about it.
I love that. Dude's like a straight up name searcher too, so I'm not surprised that he's like, and people too, people too have been saying, oh, he's doing it for the bit, like he's like, doing like some funny thing here. It's like, what is the end game of this? Does he just?
I'm a landlord.
Yeah, does
but
he throw his hands
ironically,
up? Yeah, does he throw his hands up at the end? And is like, just kidding, guys. I'm.
Well, he's also not just a landlord. Like, he's a landlord who actively has displaced tenants, so that way then he can install Airbnb properties.
Yeah, which is basically like landlords suck, sure, but there's a difference between like some little old lady renting out like her top floor and fucking
because her husband died.
Yeah, exactly.
She hasn't been fucked in 70 years.
Well, that's a different business model, but
Well, how do you pay rent to the little old lady, Bo? You tell me that right now.
But
Or is sex
that's my
work
specialty.
not work in your opinion?
Okay,
Huh?
okay.
Which is it, Bo?
Don't cancel me this early on into the episode, all right?
Cannot believe you would hold these viewpoints.
Shut the fuck up, boomer. No, bro. Shut the fuck up, boomer. Whoa.
Fuck boomers to death.
Oh, no.
Hot landlord wives in your area.
Psychic Dolphin Garage.
Hey everyone, I'm Kelton.
I'm Zach.
And I'm Bo.
And welcome to another episode of Psychic Dolphin Garage. This week we have leftist activist Artemis. You can find her at Cynical Swanson joining us in the garage. How's it going?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Doing great. I'm glad someone cares. I mean, I don't get checked on all day by my co-hosts. They're drunk, they're high. It's wildly problematic. CPS is going to come and take me away from them. It's a very negligent household.
You've mistreated
What
your
about
podcasters
yourself?
for too long.
Sarah McLachlan song just with me and a bunch of cigarettes being like, yes.
Every day, these podcasters go without people hearing their terrible opinions.
Please, with just 4 listens a day, we can help these people. I'm sorry, but how's it going in your world, Artemis? What's up?
I gotta say it's not been super busy. Halloween was this week, so there was a lot of Joker makeup going on.
Hell yeah.
It started snowing, the makeup started melting in a sort of
Oh,
eldritch
no.
horror sort of way. It was beautiful in a sense, and I truly enjoyed it.
Snow in October. Global warming isn't real.
Yeah, I love the
Absolutely.
Midwest.
Meanwhile,
Yeah.
Australia is actively on fire, much like California.
Much like everywhere. God damn. Not to not all fires, of course.
Yes, some fires, unlike landlords, are good. So, like the one that burned down or tried to burn down the Reagan library.
Yeah, that's
Praxis,
pretty
honestly.
sick. Yeah, good job, fire.
If it wasn't for those prisoner firefighters fighting so valiantly to save a
For
library,
a quarter an hour.
which there's got to be a brutal sense of irony to that.
They should have just taken the personal responsibility and just not built it there.
The library should have bootstrapped its way out of the fire.
Exactly.
If it was in danger, it should have just had somebody buy the property so it could move.
It's a shame.
I mean, did you see the location it was in? I mean, it was basically asking for a wildfire to happen to it.
Yeah.
There.
I'm just really thinking it's a shame that so many people pee on Ronald Reagan's grave and not his library.
Pee in the library, you mean?
Yeah, shit, I'll pee anywhere. I don't care.
Just actively on it. I'm sure that you can probably find a photo of some helicopter shooting a water cannon out, like stopping the fire around the. You could probably put, me, my piss, Ronald Reagan's grave. Boom.
Perfect.
Done.
Perfect.
Go left Twitter viral with that.
Cut, print, meme, baby.
Yeah, then get called canceled because you're actively then stopping the fire from taking place.
You're making light of piss kinks, and that community will not be shamed.
But what about your week?
Fucking yeah, Halloween. That's about it. Watching the world slowly crumble as I get drunk in a skeleton onesie was pretty cool.
Honestly, the skeleton onesie, I'm not even gonna criticize. Halloween isn't on a good day this year, so.
I mean, yeah. So for about 5 minutes, I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna dig my fucking Hotline Miami shit out of storage," and then I did, took some selfies, and then immediately was like, "All right, it's fucking cold."
One of the weirdest things it seems to happen every year, probably because it literally happens every year because it's Halloween. But Heidi Klum always dresses in some like ridiculously complicated Halloween outfit. And it's all very impressive, and people are like, whoa, look how all out she goes for Halloween. But, like, do the writers of these Hollywood stories understand that she's not the one who most likely designed it, or that she had a team of people applying the whole makeup apparatus to her? Because it seems like they kind of just think, oh, well, her and her husband got this ready, and then they walked out and onto the red carpet.
Like half an hour before
of
fucking going trick-or-treating. Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of showing up at fucking 6 in the morning to, have a million makeup artists plaster all sorts of bullshit to her face.
There are people who are like, I worked on Vice, and now I'm working on Heidi Klum's Halloween costume.
Yeah, I just can't get over the fact it took 12 hours to put that costume on.
Hmm.
I don't think I could stay conscious for 12 hours.
I'm pretty sure that celebrities say that you at some point you just can like fall asleep while putting makeup on.
Yeah.
Because there's so much of it that you do. It's just funny to me that this is her personality. This is what she does. Once Halloween becomes like a part of your personality, much like our buddy Rick.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Yes,
I don't know who
no, I'm 100%. No, like once it becomes part of your personality, your persona, the things you have to do, you have to keep doing that every year. And once you've locked yourself into, my thing is, I get too ridiculously dressed up for Halloween.
Yeah, I'm a Halloween person.
It doesn't stop until you finally get canceled for putting too much effort into Halloween and finally doing blackface.
Yeah.
Well, see, she dressed up as the Hindu goddess Shiva and got mildly canceled, and then she came back out next year, and everyone was like, "We forgive you, fantastic work."
Coming back from that soft cancel.
I think she literally followed it up with she went as herself, but then she had like 9 or 10 lookalikes, all also dress up in the same outfit.
That's yucky.
You legitimately had a hard time figuring out which one was the real Heidi Klum.
Man, I really wish I could hire an entire fucking like raiding party for my goddamn Halloween costume.
Attack of the Clones.
Can you imagine the after party though? Like,
oh yeah,
there will be literally 7 people being like, "I hooked up with Heidi Klum at Halloween 2013."
Well, I was gonna say, as a if like most celebrities are, you're most likely a fucking terminally horny narcissist. You can just hook up with 12 other versions of yourself.
Not to be confused with all of the other non-celebrities who are just poor narcissists.
Those are called podcasters.
Don't single me out here.
Gemini 2. Alright, fuck. God damn it. Gemini Man 2. This time we get to see Will Smith have sex with his clone.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, no, for some reason the box office quadrupled what the first one was. So this is the route we're going down now.
Mm-hmm.
We have no idea. But some celebrities, though, they did do something, some pretty interesting things. Like Kevin Hart dressed up as Dwayne Johnson. Kim Kardashian had like 9 different Halloween costumes. So like, take your pick.
Again,
and all
billionaire
that.
bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah. Tommy Lahren went as AOC because she's like, I want to dress in my like hot outfit, and so here's this. Haha, look how dumb I am. And then it just did not work.
Yeah, it
People
can't
were
be
like,
understated enough how much they want to hate. Like everyone wants to hate fuck AOC on the right. It's so weird.
I actually want to say something. I'm very thankful that she did dress up as AOC because could not distinguish her between like Lauren Southern and all of those people.
Yeah,
It's the
very
same.
Not to get canceled or anything here, but all of those people kind of look the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then did y'all notice that Nicki Minaj dressed up as Harley Quinn and Cardi B dressed up as Poison Ivy, and that like 7th grade me just had an orgasm somehow through time, because like his fantasy came to life in that moment,
Yeah, they definitely coordinated with each other on that.
even though they hate each other.
Yeah.
Like
Nothing beats a good
rich
group
people.
costume with somebody you hate.
Rich people don't hate each other. Rich people just just tell their butlers to not put the call through.
you hear that, Alfred? But then Justin Trudeau, weirdly enough, didn't go as anyone. I wonder why. It seemed like he was so full of the Halloween spirit.
It's very sad. The party cities in Canada all around are just going out of business.
The thing that nobody dressed up as this year was was that stupid what was it, Washington Post? It said like, the Handmaid's Tale outfits are going to be the Halloween costume to #resist Trump.
Yeah, it goes in line with your misimpeachment and sexy Fred Rogers outfit. I guess.
Yeah, well, my getting shifty outfit nobody picked up on that, so I'm disappointed in the libs.
Bringing 9 different outfits and increasing levels of just being blunt.
I'm a guillotine! Get it?
It's symbolism.
This is art. Also, where's y'all's hors d'oeuvre tray? Because
Or divorce.
Or divorce.
Where's your horse divorce tray?
Horse d'oeuvres tray.
No, this fucking Wired article of like, and hindsight's 2020, of course, but also,
well, yeah, maybe you don't say what's going to be the viral protest uniform of 2019 in fucking June.
goddamn.
They shot their shot. Like, I'm sorry you were wrong.
They shot their
this
shot
time.
and they shot themselves in the fucking foot. Like, what this show is 2 years old as of the publishing of the article, and I mean, it opens up. All right, the article opens up. Handmade garb is the Guy Fawkes Mask of 2019. That's a complete sentence. A completely shitty sentence.
That's the opening. That's the first one. That's what you read first. That's your introduction to this. And, as it turns out, the Guy Fawkes Mask of 2019 was actually just the fucking Joker makeup.
Hell yeah!
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which was, I mean, I think that's the thing that everyone's like, that is the actual Guy Fawkes mask, of the modern era.
The Guy Fawkes mask,
definitely.
It was. I mean,
The Joker makeup.
No, unironically, like, with this recent surge of protests and riots and resistance and shit, like, a lot of Joker makeup has been popping up weirdly, and goddamn, like, they've got the clout to actually, they've got the results to back up doing fucking, hey, look at this comic book character,
Yeah, and it's so easy to like put on, and you can buy. It's just like blue, white, and red paint, and you're pretty much good to go.
A couple blue triangles, yeah.
I mean, I still can't believe, though. I don't think anyone saw it coming. Like, the movie was budgeted at, like, $55 million. It's now made $934 million worldwide.
Wait, how much? Wait. How much did Endgame make? Like $2.1 billion?
Yeah, and in case you're wondering, I already have crunched the numbers. In terms of sheer studio profitability, Joker is just as profitable as Endgame.
Yes! A symbol of our time!
But consider though, I mean, how do you factor in all the damage it has done to the neoliberal world order in its wake?
How much damage do you think Endgame has done to the neoliberal world order? Yeah, no, we can't fight this impending threat that will destroy our planet unless some strong authoritarian white people take charge.
Oh no.
Of course, America is one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literal manifestation of America.
I'm
I'm sorry, I stole your thunder there, yeah.
Yeah, much like he stole Thor's thunder.
Yes,
When
the
he
other
was
character
proven
who
worthy.
is a blonde, fucking Aryan, Northern European, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Yes, I'm very woke. For making fun of the cake shit.
Yeah, and Endgame was just a long form way to say, "Fuck you, Europe, we're better."
Mm-hmm.
And also that, once you get fat, you're not going to be able to use your hammer like you used to. Boom-cha.
Yeah, and
Hasn't
also
stopped me
by returning all of the stones himself, Steve Rogers says, when we go out, we'll go out on our own terms. America will not fall. We will go out on our own terms.
Do not go quietly into that good night, neighbor.
That's a neighbor. Fuck you. No, I love the Joker mask in all the protests were, not only used as a symbol after the movie kind of took off and had surprisingly overt anti-capitalist tones. Surprisingly for a Joker movie, of course.
Yeah, we've talked about this. It's
Bo has
one of these fucking weeks. One of these
Joker
fucking weeks, the
anymore.
word Joker will not be spoken in this goddamn podcast.
This week is not that week.
Let me see here. Hold on. I'm going to see if I can get all the fanboys mad at me all at once. Last Jedi producer Kathleen Kennedy is releasing Zack Snyder's cut of the upcoming Joker re-release.
I'm down. Fuck it.
Did I cross all the quadrants?
I think we have hit
Available
every-
now on Disney Plus.
Okay.
With guest star Brie Larson.
Yeah. God.
We've literally CGI'd her badly into every scene.
Yes. We CGI'd her upper lip into every character.
No, I think though the real cool thing about again this recent splurge of just just unrest, I guess, not to make it too vague, is that it's kind of come home in the fucking shit going down in New York. I think that's pretty neat.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I mean, thank God someone is, in America is starting to take action. Like, it's been Iraq, Lebanon, Chile. I know Venezuela still has protests going on.
Yeah.
Still trying
France
to get over
or-
the fact that the director of The Hangover has created an aesthetic that is being used for Middle Eastern regime change.
Fuck yes.
That's not exactly what I thought of when I saw that movie with Zach Galifianakis.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, what's happening in New York though about how people are just doing this mass protest, and they're just kind of saying, we're just not going to take this, is wonderful. But I think if people were to just go and read the headlines as they scroll through news items, the news seems to be viewing it as only about this $2.75 raise. And not about all of the other larger factors,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
about like how much the fare cops, how much money they actually cost, and then how all the cameras that they're installing could be used for facial recognition software,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they have to minimize it, or else you'll realize that they're basically completely full of shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what possible motivation would the owners of the New York Post have with not making sure that the overall community and populace of New York is aware of these things? Are you implying that there's some weird form of public-private partnership?
Are you implying there's some divide, perhaps?
Yeah, what use would a private company have for employing force to maintain its dominance and control of a public transit system if that system is not in fact public or designed to transport people?
I might just have to put on my fucking hot take cap and have a good think about this. Can we reconvene the podcast in like 7 hours? Just checking.
Hard static sounds.
Yeah. We're a harsh noise podcast in the meantime.
7 hours of audio later. Yeah, it just is weird to me though, because when people are talking about the history of protests, and the Washington Post had an article where they talked about they looked over 150 protests and like, oh well, what's popular and what's not popular, what works and what doesn't work, and they came to the conclusion that it seems like everyone else more or less has come to, of where it can't be a top-down revolution, that those rarely work out, like legitimate coups rarely do. In terms of, and then it is a positive thing. It has to be, a groundswell movement. It has to get the actual working class involved and the everyman. And it does seem intriguing because the Washington Post didn't make this point, but stuff as simple as doing a protest like over the rise in toll fare should just show, oh, well, maybe why don't we just protest the idea of toll fare in general?
Yeah.
Let's see what we can actually make this build to a little bit more.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Fucking what kicked it off in Chile was a hike in transit fare, and then cops responding just absolutely horribly, as cops do, and then people decided, hey, fuck it, let's roll, because it's never just about that one thing. It just happens to be what kicks it off.
Yeah, as horrified as we are by the things like our federal government does, the overreach, the surveillance state that we live in, the systemic issues that we live under, the for-profit prisons, the for-profit border security, the human trafficking, really terrible things. It really has to be something that hits home for people, that isn't just, oh, I see this on the news every day. It's something you're trying to go to work in New York City, and they're tasing kids because they didn't
they
pay
hopped a
fare.
fucking
It's like,
turnstile.
yeah,
they didn't pay like a candy bar's worth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and at that point, that's when it's real to you that this isn't about making sure that this company can continue providing adequate public transit services for an entire city. It's setting a precedent and making sure that they can forcefully protect the assets that they own, which they use to generate profit off of your desire and need to have freedom of movement.
I just can't wait for the super statist propaganda. You know how in Texas, I guess nationally, we had Walker, Texas Ranger.
Yeah.
I can't wait for Tony, the subway cop, to take over.
Yeah, but it's...
Fair evasion, forget about it. God.
But it's played by Kevin James.
Oh no!
I watched that shit. No, actually, fuck it. I'm a big pro cop guy now. Just for Kevin James. Though.
What about Jonah Hill in a dual role? Okay, as Fat Jonah Hill and Skinny Jonah Hill.
Gemini Man 4.
Yeah.
Yes. See, there we go.
Gemini 4, fair play.
God, shut the actual fuck up. That's terrible. That
we're not gonna do better than that.
Yeah.
God damn it, Zach.
Yep. No, yeah, I think just let's get out there with fucking to really support these protests. Get out there with fucking, like county fairs and rinky-dink kind of shit. You have those little stalls where it's like, hey, come get your fucking face painted. Just do that, but for protests.
They literally have that.
Yeah, they have that.
Some of them.
Hell yeah, cool. Good job.
I think specifically Lebanon, they're like people that journalists that took pictures of like stations they had where it's just people with buckets of paint. They're like, all right, cool, come get your face painted.
Hell yeah. Well, I mean, fucking getting your face painted is like a big fucking, like it really hypes shit up, people do it for sports games and shit, and that's already super fun. So to do it...
All right,
Yep.
so next gathering of the Juggalos. This will be the prime time for a possible general strike.
Absolutely. Yeah.
To come back to that Washington Post article, what they talked about was it's not just the key to sparking strikes is having something like that's close to home that gets people that really affects people that they really feel strongly about, so that they'll show up. But then the next step to that is having a general strike, like what's happened in Iran, what's happened in Lebanon. I think it's had general strike. I think Hong Kong had general strikes before it got yellow vested.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure Venezuela's had a general strike ongoing for a while. And I know there's a lot.
They don't want to work, huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was picturing what Kevin James, subway cop, would say about that issue.
They don't want to show up every day at 6 a.m. and get fucked by their boss.
Which I gladly do.
I
Because
spread my ass cheeks every day, and what kind of thanks do I get for it? I'm doing his bad New York accent too.
Hey, you kids bouncing over
tell.
turnstiles. You should be bouncing on your boy's dick.
And do it for the boys.
The boy.
Definitely my boy, not my boss.
He's not my boss, really. He's more like my boy, you know. Like
He's my
we're
friend
boys.
who pays me and fucking ensures whether I go hungry for the month or don't.
Yeah, just like my boy that I pay to live in the apartment that he owns. Boss, landlord, these are such divisive labels. I don't like labeling people. They're all everyone's my boys.
Yeah, so the boys came by and they took my car because I haven't made a payment in 3
Evicted
months.
by the boys.
Evicted by the boys. My boy Elon Musk. You know, he's been making those gender reveal pipe bombs. I think I know what we gotta do with them.
Also,
Elon Musk
You know how to build a pipe bomb? I'm a white guy with access to the internet and Home Depot. I can figure something out.
yeah, no, I was
Elon
just
Musk
gonna
is
say-
arming the proletariat with all of his weird, wacky, these are not actually weapons for revolution series of things. The gender reveal pipe bomb is next in line. Then comes the anti-drone surveillance, not an RPG.
Oh yeah. That was the dopest news, was the person shooting down the police camera with a bazooka.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved it. I like that there are so many just American weapons now spread throughout all these like countries where we've, are nearby enough places where we've invaded that all of our shit's just been stolen.
Mhm.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it's like that famous quote says, the last grenade launcher that the capitalists will sell to us will be the one that they use at the gender reveal party.
The one we dupe them with, yeah. Also, before we move on from this point, I cannot stress enough, Gender Reveal Pipe Bomb would be a great fucking punk band.
Exactly.
Okay, all right. Well, let's see actually if Griff Shop is listening to us, okay? This message is going out specifically to Griff Shop, all right?
You have to be non-binary to get into the show, otherwise they just take your gender and hold on to it while you're in there.
Yeah, for some reason, ContraPoints hasn't been allowed in since 2014.
Oh,
my God.
All right. Parody.
Oh,
satire.
sorry. Okay.
Oh, man.
Yes. Okay, Griff Shop, hit us up. Let us know if we can get a nice punk T-shirt. Put it up on your site, please. I'll message you after this comes out. or
It'll be a
if you
sign.
hit us
It'll
up.
be a sign that you're ready. You're ready to work with us.
A sign in the North Star. It appeared to me. Yeah. Okay, trying to reel us slightly back in.
Yeah.
One thing though that does affect people's lives in a day-to-day way, and I think is interesting, believe it or not, and this is going to be a segment that I can feel Bo recoiling at right now, is sports news coverage.
Yeah, there it is. Yep.
How it's something that I look at every day because I like sports.
Because you have a brain disease, yes.
I have
Yes.
I have an interesting take on this.
But go for it. Go for it.
When you look at all the different news sites that are available online, a lot of quote unquote news, like journalism sites, try to talk about how they are so unbiased, and we're clear news. We are middle of the road news. We are we'll shit our pants to prove that we're not biased news. And when you look at sports news is very specifically opinion driven, and they're very specifically like, we're going to drive this opinion home with this information that we have access to in our brains that we use all the time. And if you listen to us and you like listening to us, you'll continue listening to us because you also use your brain sometimes. And there's not like we're the centrist sports. We're the very clear, unbiased, neutral news for the sports balls.
Whichever team wins, I just hope they both have a good time.
Yeah, NFL centrist caucus.
Jesus. Yeah, no, and so I find it really interesting that we have a bunch of sports news just hitting the fan this week.
Yeah, I mean it's a weird clusterfuck, I guess.
Yeah, no, explain it to me like I don't interact with sports news at all, because I don't interact with sports news at all.
Okay, so most sports news websites, they report on basically an extended form of whatever the box score was.
Mm-hmm.
Andre Drummond had scored 20 points, had 20 rebounds in a basketball game. Or Juan Soto, his ERA has been blah, blah, blah this month.
Mm-hmm.
And then they might pull, like what ESPN sometimes does, of doing a character piece specifically focused on the sports person and the subject of the matter, or discussing something in a more thematic way. But Deadspin is a company that really had a unique perspective of, well, let's talk about pretty much everything, because everything relates back to sports in some way, shape, or form. It's talking about the societal issues that then also bring forward the sports culture that we actually have. And so their pieces were much more far-reaching, and on some of them, they just weren't really at all about sports, but they were about things that were popular in the zeitgeist. And for a lot of sports fans, that was a way to get a message in or make them aware of something that they otherwise wouldn't see, because it doesn't relate to, how Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens
which
are
big
up
man
10-0.
threw the ball this week. Yeah.
Bo's really not.
I'm vehemently, anti-sports.
Right.
No,
don't. Hey, everybody in the NBA league, don't worry. Bo will be a part of the fantasy leagues next year. Anyways, Kelton.
He doesn't know that he will be, but he'll be running a team.
Yeah. So Deadspin. The big reveal is that Deadspin this week has. They got new owners. Deadspin got new owners. I believe they were bought out by a larger company, and then the larger company really wanted to pare down what messaging they were putting out and the stories that they were covering, and so they communicated to a lot of the team that they wanted to focus
just
on sports.
Yep.
No, nothing else. Just sports. And there was pushback from the teams, which all enjoy writing news articles about news and sharing their thoughts and having people read their news stories
that kind of go into the broader cultural, political space.
Yeah, which the pushback resulted in, I believe, at Barry, one of the chief editors being terminated, and then the entire staffing team quit.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Like the entire staff team quit.
Fuck out, baby. Yeah.
Good, thank God. They can. It's like Cracked. They'll all go on to better projects.
Absolutely, yes. God bless those people.
Our condolences, of course, to the many talented writers at Cracked who still haven't been able to quite find work.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it's coming around the corner.
Not everyone can be Cody Justin. Yeah.
Any day now.
Any day now, they'll come crawling back to me and say, we need video content on our listicle website.
Listen, we need you to write a script for a popular movie franchise. You may have heard of it. It's called Gemini Man.
Gemini Man 5.
Gemini Man 420, the James Franco film.
I'd watch that. Hell yeah. Been too long since we did a good stoner comedy where there's 4 James Francos and they fuck.
That would be great. I know, and like something new that's developed with Deadspin is the editing team that has quit Deadspin actually still has control over the social media accounts.
Or they do, at least as
They
of
did.
this recording.
As of this recording, as far as I know, because they started posting articles posted on like the LA Times where it was like, do Deadspin articles that talk about politics actually get fewer, less engagement than just the sports articles? And they kind of went through the numbers. They're like, yeah, no, I'm pretty sure that they both get the same amount of, clicks. So
Almost like they built up a culture of some kind.
Yeah.
People are a fan of that culture, and so
they were appealing to a fan base that they had.
yeah,
Damn.
the new guy came in. He came in and he ran Forbes, and before that he ran Playboy for a few years. And
Real pedigree there.
thriving
yeah.
digital spaces,
Beacons of journalism.
Yeah. Forbes being like, guess who's rich? Are we going to double check this? No, we haven't, since we failed to double check Donald Trump's net worth, and we've continued that motto ever since. And then, of course, Playboy being like the almost stumbling over themselves in finding good writing talent.
That's yeah. They fucking really had to triple down on the "I read it for the articles" crowd, and we see
Right for me. I just want to look at your jugs.
Why Riley Reid thinks we should intervene in Venezuela.
That's my favorite Pornhub channel is the one where
the
they
politics
just talk
channel.
about yeah.
God.
Pornhub politics.
Politics
That seems mildly cursed. But the thing that really just made me want to lose it is the fact that, of course, Barstool shithead and sworn mortal enemy of myself, okay, you know how on BP Lettuce they want to punch Joe Biden in the dick,
Yeah.
right? I want to punch Dave Portnoy in the dick. I mean, I'm pretty sure Dave Portnoy is a landlord, and we have discussed what I want to do to landlords.
Probably.
So, yes. Haha satire. Haha parody. Guillotine Dave Portnoy. Haha satire. Haha parody.
Good.
Because he is actively just rejoicing at the death of Deadspin, and he views this as like he is the one who got them taken down, because I guess in his head you can only be a fan of Barstool Sports or Deadspin, not like they have a large crossover market.
Yeah, the two genders, Barstool Sports or Deadspin.
Jesus, I mean, it just I don't understand. Number one, like why he exists as a human being, but number two, anyone who really thinks of this as Deadspin failing because of their progressive ideology, instead of Deadspin failing because this is what happens when
Incompetent management takes over and runs some shit into the ground because they have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole thing reeks of a catch and kill style scenario, of where a larger conglomerate basically bought Deadspin to be free of criticism from Deadspin.
You mean they pulled the Washington Times with Amazon?
Yeah,
No.
Washington Post, you mean?
Yeah, that one. Times, Post.
Tomato.
It's the same.
One of those,
New York
one of those
Post,
dead
Inquirer,
gay websites.
Tribune.
New York Post and New York Times are basically the same thing, right?
Yeah. I mean, for all intents and purposes, for me, they legitimately could be. I know that will offend all
you fucking print media folks out there are furious.
Yeah. How could you, sir? I'm going to take this article from World News Daily Report and be on my merry way.
The Anchorage Examiner is going to get very upset about this.
Yeah, they're
Examiners.
long-time nemesis of the pod. Those Anchorage Examiner fucks.
From the raft.
Yeah, I mean, Anchorage Examiner is being like, yeah, so this Obama guy gave a pretty cool speech at the 2004 Democratic presidential convention. Really excited to see what President Kerry will be doing about all of this. Jesus. Secretary of State Howard Dean is doing wonderfully. Everything's going well.
Everything's cool, normal, yeah. No, fucking, Barstool occupies a very specific, and I'm glad there's not more of this kind of media, because Lord knows there's enough already. It occupies the anti-woke kind of, niche that, I mean, fucking yeah, that's the sports fandom, and I'm not saying that's all of the sports fandom, I'm assuming some of you are good people. But
judging off of the response,
I mean,
to,
what a fucking angle,
Colin
though.
Kaepernick.
Yeah. Like, what a fucking angle to sell in that, hey, I'm Dave Portnoy, I'm addicted to opiates and can barely keep my eyes open in my goddamn interviews.
My wife left me for her bicycle trainer.
Is that a real thing?
Yes.
Oh, eat shit, Dave Portnoy. I love it. What a douche.
Sick Boston fuck.
Yeah. I think it's
Michigan,
a sign of
you're a fan of.
I think it's a sign of the gender binary dominating people's minds because it's been pounded into them for their whole lives. Where these
elaborate on this take,
where these cishet white men, they are so willing to die on the hill of my sports, my guns, my truck. Also, I fuck sometimes, except when I get cucked, which is happening because of these leftists.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That is better bars than anything on Kanye's latest album. Thank you for that sampling, Zach.
Time to go big, boys. We're gonna make it big finally.
That's gonna be the thing,
someone's gonna remix that line from our podcast.
There's gotta be some SoundCloud idiot out there who records their shit as a podcast and then remixes it into an album.
I don't.
And that's
Why?
me. That's me next week. That's what I'm doing. That's the project I'm setting up.
Why are you looking like Tekashi 6ix9ine right now, Bo?
All these face tats are business investment.
I just want to say that's basically what happens when Dream Theater with their drummer Mike Portnoy make a new album. I can't get him out of my head. Every time we say Dave Portnoy, I just think, wow, Dream Theater, yeah. And then I'm like, it's Mike Portnoy.
All I can think of are the fucking dumb BoJack Horseman like wordplay things where it's Courtney Portnoy and
yeah.
I don't know. That's not even relevant to what we're talking about. I just think it's cute.
You know what's not cute, Bo?
What?
What's not cute?
The fact that an elected Arizona official has been suspended for selling adopted children.
Yeah, he got the I accidentally shot this guy while I was making a traffic stop. Oh, and he's black.
This is yet another sign that we live in hell. A very, very low level on the totem pole elected official in Arizona was suspended because he was, again, trying to sell adopted children. Specifically, his operation consisted of 105 adoptions at roughly $40,000 a pop, where he could basically work as the middleman.
Did you say he was suspended again?
Yeah, that's what I was stuck on.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I was repeating my earlier statement.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he started telling he just wasn't paying his taxes for all of these transactions he was making.
It's like Al Capone. They couldn't fucking stick him on anything but tax fraud. God.
I would like that. Like, the only thing we got him on is selling adopted children. Oh, that's a slap on the wrist in court. Let's get him for tax evasion. Something serious.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, so he basically was running a close to $4 million scheme. I say scheme because that downplays the horrifying nature of.
I would say scheme is appropriately villainous. Yeah.
Yeah. But he went through with about 70 of them. So
70 of what exactly now? Yeah, of
70 adoptions.
Yeah,
that of selling children that went into public custody to specific partnered parents.
Yeah, I just wanted to get the specifics, so it is as specifically distasteful as it is.
Yeah.
Who says that the free market wouldn't provide, in lieu of government organizations handling, adoption services?
Yeah.
Arizona, I know you mentioned this earlier, but Arizona is the last true libertarian safe haven from the culture war.
Yeah.
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 Oh, well, that's why, our buddy Sanders from the other... Shut the fuck up, Bo. That's why our buddy Sanders from the other Discord, is, why he is particularly libertarian as well, because they're in Arizona as well, so...
Yeah. So, yeah, essentially what he was doing was literally, importing women into the country to have their children here, and then adopting the babies off to, he would give them $10,000, right? These, Marshallese immigrants, and then fucking adopt off the kids, for around $25,000 to $40,000, this article says.
They're going with the lowball estimates here.
Jesus. Yeah, just what a sick, evil fuck. I mean...
And also just ridiculous overhead costs when you think about it. I mean...
God. Well, I mean, that's the thing.
Where's that Breaking Bad style movie, Like, oh yeah, okay, we made everyone sympathize with a meth dealer. Okay, our new anti-hero is an elected Arizona official. So, same set location, okay?
Yeah,
get those tax
a hellish
incentives.
desert with nothing going on but pure evil.
And this whole thing, we're talking about how we're going to frame him as the good guy because he's getting these kids and letting them live in the wonderful place that is America and the greatest
Utah
state in the union.
is where he was operating this out of. Like he
Jesus
works
Christ.
in Arizona. But yeah, the fact that it's taking place in Utah, and also, he's specifically, essentially importing these women from the Marshall Islands, because he had done missionary work there for the Church of Jesus Christ of absolutely evil fucking monsters.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Beautiful. There are 20 different kinds of gross in this. Isn't it great?
Yeah, no, and in the TV series that is doing an expose on what happened here, they do cut shots back to the great immigration camps of 2018 where ICE was detaining immigrants and their children and then just selling them into human trafficking circles as well.
Yeah.
We can find this also in the hit reboot Gemini Man Origins.
That's where all the kid clones came from.
See? There we go. Now we're cooking.
This is
now
a
we're
fucking
cooking with
Hideo
gas.
Kojima game at this point.
They nailed the guy. They nailed the guy not for the human trafficking, but he jumped a turnstile in 2007.
That's how they get you. That fucking fair debt, the interest on it isn't just insane. It's a lot. God.
Where's Bernie's plan to cancel universal fair debt, huh?
Yeah.
This is an issue that's important to me and Tony the subway cop.
Yeah.
Haha, socialists want to make everything free. Why don't they just make all fares free then, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
Yeah,
because, public transit fees are just taxes on the working class. No! Not like that!
What, are you telling me you don't just have your butler drive you everywhere? Come on. Yeah.
More like
Your
my
butler
Assler.
drive you there? I just have my butler fly into my helicopter onto the landing pad. Is that like what driving
I haven't
is?
seen a car in 3 years, yeah.
I haven't seen a car outside of the glass case I have.
Yeah, the fucking Lamborghini that just sits in my living room, yeah.
Meeting Elon Musk and referring to his company as Tesla.
As yeah. Well, I mean, so you fucking mentioned, the child concentration camps that we have just kind of brushed under the rug as a country now at this point. But I mean, that's that's a similar thing that was happening. Fucking Betsy DeVos.
Oh, I'm sure it's so much worse.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, at least this is all in house. I mean, as opposed to fucking several different businesses interacting. Through like various Christian nonprofits and, the fucking DeVos family basically making a ton of money off of undocumented children. It just...
Yeah,
God.
no, like, the problem that the Arizona official had here was that he didn't bring enough people into it, because if you have enough people trying to run a legitimate operation, then if some people fall through the cracks, then, what can I say? Business is inherently inefficient, and anything that you get government into, accidents happen because they're careless, and there's nobody really that we can lay the blame on here, and especially not the system as a whole, because, so really he missed out on, he really messed up by being competent and doing everything himself so that he could receive the full profits of his own labor. So I just got that off because I heard myself saying that and I couldn't keep going.
Yeah. I mean, well, so it's funny you mentioned the economic aspect of it too, just because one thing I'm noticing from the article we're going off of here is that this dude's making $77,000 a year off his fucking tax determiner job or whatever it was. I'm not even fucking looking at it anymore, but whenever one of these motherfuckers who's in government, who's, a few $1 million rich, this is the kind of thing that got them rich. It's not their fucking, admittedly fucking very generous. I mean, $77,000 a year sounds great right now. It's not that where they have their money from. It's usually something incredibly fucking heinous, at this level, if not worse.
Woo! It's wonderful. By the way, for the record, for anyone keeping track at home, the United States federal government has lost track of 1,475 immigrant children.
Ugh.
So, joy.
Very normal world we live in. Very normal.
Yeah. Be sure and come back next week to keep your tallies updated, and make sure you make your predictions every Tuesday night on our website.
Update the old bracket.
Who has lost more children? Your mom or the federal government?
Jesus Christ. That's right up there with the story about how Instagram is helping out people who are sex trafficking by setting up faux model pages on Instagram, but instead of a photo set of a particular model, it's just showing photos of someone who's available to be bought.
Ugh. God.
Yeah,
see, that's the correct level of fluff between you and what's actually happening.
Yeah. I need my fucking my Airbnb for purchasing a human being. Yeah.
Careful, you're gonna give Hannibal Buress ideas.
Yeah.
You're hold on. So
What?
what? You can make how much money off of this? You're saying 1,400 kids, $40,000. We're looking at what, 55?
No, guys, it's
60
cool.
million?
He's just doing it for a bit. God.
Yeah, my new album coming out later on. Yeah, it's gonna be great. Whatever. So about these kids. Who wants?
I'm actually a leftist. Human trafficker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really doing this, to support free exchange, and to make sure that I'm not giving my labor to a boss. Anyways, not to close on something so fucking horribly dark,
Yeah,
but
Jesus.
up next we have some variety games that Kelton built for us to have fun with.
Oh boy.
Yay!
Yeah. What's up, Kel? What you got for us this week, man?
Well, so we had previously briefly mentioned a slight formatting change, where we were going to be trying to close out on doing some games after talking about some news, and
Some shit that's not so soul crushing. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and there are a whole lot of games that we could play. and there's a whole lot of different options of what types of formatting and what games are we actually going to play. And I mean, we can go through the list of them and we can tell y'all all about it, but I would rather we just kind of have a smorgasbord of options available to us, you know? Something that then we can all play, and then we can see how it goes.
So
All
what
right?
Kelton's saying is, we'll be playing a variety of games each week, and if you don't like them, you can yell slurs at him in his Twitter
Yes.
DMs.
Yes.
Specifically,
That is-
Landlord and Boomer.
We'll have to bleep this out later, I hope you realize.
Yeah.
Oh no, if we actually do bleep them out, can you imagine? Specifically, boop and boop.
Yeah, Jesus,
Wow.
Zach. Dude. Hold off. But yeah,
I'm just reading what they sent me, okay, guys? Gosh.
What Victorian parlor games did you drudge up from the library this week?
All right, so we're going to have 3 specific games that we're going to be doing. The first one is called What Did the Cop Do? Where I tell you what the sentence was or the punishment was, and you have to guess what the cop did.
Oh,
It's
this
real
sucks.
fast lightning round, okay? Then
God.
we're going to play a couple rounds of a game called Kill Count, where we have to guess what has killed more people. Then finally, we're going to play 2 rounds of Weird News, where I will read you 4 news stories. 3 of them will be real. 1 of them will be fake.
Okay.
And we can just have some fun, riff a little bit, and then just kind of enjoy it. So this is where we can just kick back, so to speak, and get away from our super serious discussions that we were having about Artemis and I's inevitable Gemini Man franchise that will be coming to Amazon Prime.
I was gonna say, yeah, the real money's in the fucking miniseries y'all work on. But
Exactly.
Yes.
yeah.
That and the Breaking Bad spinoff. Real
If there are any cracked
it-
writers out there,
any cracked writers who have been just kind of
Yeah.
bumming around since 2009, I want to say.
Yeah, our spinoff is called Better Call Carl.
Nice.
Coral.
Okay.
Um,
What the fuck? Yeah. Let's rock and roll right into what did the cop do?
What
did All the right.
cop do?
Don't you fucking start.
Oh my god, that is beautiful. Oh, we need sound drops.
No.
this is going to become a bit.
All right, so a Gaza cop / soldier was suspended 1 month.
Child
what
murderer,
did they
we
do?
can call him. I mean, come
Killed-
on, we're not
killed a
fucking
child.
yeah.
A Gaza, as in Israel.
Yes.
Yeah.
They have cops too there, believe it or not.
They
That lawless wasteland that is.
they were cleaning their house on a Sunday.
Well, the holy day in Judaism is Saturday, so
They were cleaning their house on Saturday. Sorry, I am Protestant. I don't know
protest
anything.
aunt
Uh
or protest aunt in some parts of the country, I guess. No, they killed a protester. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. All right. Now this is fun. This is a good question for me. All right. A Colorado police force faced no punishment. What did they do?
The entire force. Well, I mean, no punishment. They must have done nothing, obviously.
Nothing wrong, at least.
they Jesus, I can't think what an entire force would do. Like, they took a holiday off that they shouldn't have taken off. They all took April 20th off.
They all
Again,
quit.
they received no punishment. So
They helped cover up one of the officers planting heroin on a guy.
Yeah.
Just fuck us up. Let's hear it. What is it?
Yeah. Go for it.
all right. Okay, so in June of 2015, an armed shoplifting suspect in Colorado barricaded himself in a stranger's suburban Denver home. In an attempt to force the suspect out, law enforcement blew up the walls with the explosives, fired tear gas, and drove a military-style armored vehicle through the property's doors.
Oh, right,
Jesus.
this one, yeah, where they then did not, like, reimburse the dude in any fucking way at all. Yeah.
Yes, and an appeals court ruled that the cops don't have to pay the owner of the home anything, nor did they do anything wrong. And so the owner's just shit out of luck
Yeah,
for what happened to him.
Yeah, I love that. I love the very cool country we live in, where you know, if the cops just decide, hey, we're gonna play Rainbow Six for the afternoon, I hope you're fucking ready.
Beat me to it.
Yeah, I mean, because that's what that whole fucking game is. It's like, oh, there's no way fucking, you know, nobody destroys things on this scale to get these pesky criminals. Fucking these guys do.
Yeah.
What do you mean I can't use a breaching charge on a civilian door?
I'm just using the breaching charge to get my fucking snacks open.
I just thought that we were
Hungry.
playing America's Army. What, why?
Yeah.
What? Zach, help me out. I don't know video game references. I want to participate in this riff.
No.
You know, sometimes you play Battlefield, sometimes Battlefield plays you.
That's pretty
there
good.
we
Yeah. All right.
Well,
that sucked.
Siege is the reference to go with there. Or alternatively, it's just Sims, and you just tore down their house, and they can't do anything about it.
Yeah,
so.
they dropped him in a pool with no ladder, figuratively speaking, right?
Jesus
Literally,
Christ.
God.
Apparently, by the way, there's like a foreign film that's getting some Oscar buzz for best foreign film.
Mm-hmm.
Where basically that's kind of the plot, is a guy accidentally traps himself at the bottom of a giant empty pool.
That's an
And-
episode of It's Always Sunny.
Oh, well, I mean, like, I'm sure it is, but then the guy, like, has to, like, fight an alligator.
Oh,
that
fuck,
was
What
the
the
rules,
fuck?
There was a guy in
Yeah,
that
so I
house,
guess
and I
the
just
pool's
started
not that
blasting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay, the next game is called Kill Count, where we have to guess what killed more people. So, round one, what killed more people? The Armenian genocide, which now for some reason Congress has decided to acknowledge,
Mhm.
or diabetes in 2016.
Just in 2000. Okay, well, that's very specific.
Yes,
And are we talking
I'm-
diabetes like in the U.S. or worldwide? I mean, what?
worldwide.
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna-
say diabetes.
I'm gonna say diabetes.
Yeah, shit.
diabetes.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck
All right,
it,
you know
fine.
what? Fine, I'm changing my mind. It's the Armenian genocide.
Well, I mean, as with any good genocide, it depends on what numbers you look at for
Oh, no.
how many
Oh,
people.
no. We're canceled. It's over.
So the average of the numbers I saw was 1.5 million people. The number of people who die worldwide of diabetes in 2016 is 1.6 million people.
Damn, diabetes squeaking it out right there at
I
the end.
win.
Yeah. But don't worry, I have something better, okay? Guys, round two, and this is something I am proud of as a question, so I apologize in advance.
Yeah,
for
thank
this.
you. Yeah, you should be apologizing a lot fucking more here.
From 2004 to 2018, what is more? The number of people killed by Michael Myers in Halloween movies, or the number of pedestrians under 18 struck and killed by automobiles on a Halloween night?
Ugh. I mean, shit.
Automobiles.
How many new Halloween movies have come out in that fucking time
There's
frame?
been a lot
Like
of
two?
those.
Yeah.
I'm going
I'm gonna go
with
for
automobiles.
cars. I'm gonna go for cars. Yeah.
All right. Number of pedestrians under 18 years old that were struck and killed by automobiles, 54. Number of people killed by Michael Myers in Halloween movies between 2004 and 2018, 57.
Oh, what the fuck?
Mm.
God.
Yeah, a lot of Halloween movies have come out.
Apparently none of
So-
them good. Yeah.
I would assume more people have been struck on Halloween night.
Well, it's
I-
under 18, so
That's-
these are children
yeah,
who
that's
were
true.
killed.
All
What-
those-
what-
ugh, fuck.
We're just
That's why
ignoring that
kids aren't-
scene where Michael Myers hits a man in his Chevy Ultima.
Yeah. How do you count that one? Does that add to both? Is
He
it
was
neither?
young at heart,
Yeah.
but unfortunately doesn't contribute to this particular statistic.
Also, weird product placement on behalf of Rob Zombie to include that in the fucking Halloween movie.
Good lord. Well, okay. I think we're having some fun here. I mean, at least it's going better.
I'm having
off
fun, but
than,
also just like I'm making a face right now, like I've tasted something terrible.
Well, in that case, then let me help out with that taste.
You might say this is in poor taste.
Weird
Yeah.
news. Yeah. All right. This is reading 4 news stories, just the titles. I'm not going to save y'all the trouble. And then one of them is fake. You have to tell me which one is the fake one. All right? Now, just to let people know, if we're doing a round where it's all weird news one episode, we'll probably try and have it be increasing difficulty as we roll through.
Of course.
But I just went with one and another, so I didn't really try and figure out which one would be harder.
Let's hear it.
Not.
Yeah.
All right. A Japanese restaurant has fried chicken that now tastes like girls' feet to accommodate to people's various sexual kinks.
Yeah.
One UK woman's health tip is 1 sperm smoothie a day. A teen is suing Juul, claiming that vaping made him a homosexual.
I'm gonna go with
A man attempts to rob a bank with hot dogs and a dildo. The hot dogs were taped to his chest to supposedly look like dynamite, and the dildo was supposed to look like a gun.
That one's
I'm
very
going with-
specific.
I'm going with
Juul.
chicken.
That's got to be fake. Wait.
Chicken tasting like feet has got to be fake.
I'm going with the sperm smoothie.
Okay, so, I'm sorry, Artemis, you're going with sperm smoothie. Zach, you're going with girl's feet. And Bo, you're going with gay vaping.
I love
Yeah,
eating
I'm
at
always
Denny's.
down for gay vaping, but yeah.
Yeah. All right. Bo wins that round.
Yes!
God
Yeah,
damn
no,
it.
I knew the first one was fake, first of all, just because,
What? No.
or the first one was real, rather, yeah, fucking, just because.
Of course you knew it was
yeah,
real,
because
Bo.
I import that shit by the pallet from Japan. What, you think I can't pay my fucking rent? I've got, like, you know, just shitty fried chicken ready for the microwave, gathering mold in the middle of my living room, just,
Oh.
Yeah, and if anyone has any complaints about how we're now starting to do games, this is because we tried to do voicemails and answer people's questions, and you all are a bunch of asocial fucks, and so we just decided that we would actually start to enjoy our time.
Send
So,
voicemails.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you, Artemis,
We
yes.
won't do games if we have, like 2 or 3 voicemails to get to.
yeah, we won't put you
But,
through this inanity. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so round 2.
Oh, no.
Are you guys ready?
Yeah, well,
Let's go.
yeah.
I mean, I guess no one should be, but, Okay. All right. A middle school's ID badges offered a suicide hotline phone number that actually went to a sex line.
I was just gonna say, that's what kept me from the Verge in high school. That's also what kept me a Verge in high school.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Whoop whoop.
High
Indeed.
school Bo was grossly horny. It's terrible.
I mean, I think everyone is grossly horny, especially in high school.
Goddamn moans, man.
Yeah. Story number 2. Gang members attempt to raise $150,000 on GoFundMe to buy guns for a drive-by shooting.
That's what you use your UBI money for.
That's entrepreneurial, yeah.
Story number 3. The Taliban kicked out a Jewish prisoner for complaining too much.
Oy.
Or story number 4. A Siberian city erected a giant Minecraft-style statue of Vladimir Lenin
Oh
in
shit.
celebration.
Yeah, all right. What was the second one again?
Gang members attempted to raise $150,000 on GoFundMe. They said it was to buy guns for a drive-by shooting.
All right, I have to go with number 2.
I'm gonna go with number 2 as well.
I'm going for 3. I think that seems a little too jokey. That seems a little too like a bad Sacha Baron Cohen bit.
Are you saying that I would come up with a bad bit, Bo?
Yes,
Is
I
that
absolutely
really-
am.
Well,
I'm doubling down.
Yeah, I don't know how I should phrase this, because, Bo, you are wrong, motherfucker.
Damn it.
Gang members attempting to raise $150,000
All
on
right.
GoFundMe is fake. So,
No, they used Kickstarter.
Jesus. All right. Well,
God bless
we,
this weird world of ours.
does that wrap up our game segment?
yeah, that pretty much wraps
Are the
up
games
our game
over?
segment.
The game has only begun.
God.
Yeah, no,
Alright.
I think expanding on that will definitely not be torturous.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's definitely a good, happy ending to our episode, filled with good news from around the world, such as the fact that Wikipedia has just a page. I found this out, a page that's called Ongoing Protests.
Oh, that's kick-ass.
Yeah, which is surprisingly full of lots of ongoing protests
Good.
that we do not have the time to mention or get canceled about. So.
Yeah.
We'll,
Good.
we'll figure it out one step at a time, one cancelable issue at a time.
Yeah,
But thankfully, there will always be news readily available for us.
Yes, we will trip on our own dicks at some point.
If you guys want to leave us a voicemail or message us or ask a question in the Discord that you want us to answer on the podcast, feel free.
Yeah.
Yeah, just do that. Join the Discord.
Definitely join the Discord.
We have lots of people in there now. It's starting to take off a little bit. Our Instagram is starting to take off a little bit. Our Twitch is starting to take off a little bit.
Oh my god!
We're doing Monday and Friday night streams, and I am thinking about doing a Wednesday night game stream because we play games every night.
Yes, encourage Zach to do that so that way then I can inevitably get kicked off Monday nights for bringing our average viewership down. So, Artemis is very quiet in this part, refusing to take my side. I see how
don't
it
drag
is.
her into this. Don't fucking, God damn.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Artemis, what do you have? Do you have anything, any social media
Plugs,
that you are
yeah.
pushing? Any plugs, any content you're making?
You can follow my Twitter. I might start either a podcast or some music pretty soon here, so that's the best place to look.
Hell yeah.
See if you can find it.
Stuff a brewing, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Dope. And what is that handle?
That is at Cynical Swanson. That is cynical, spelled like how you spell it, and then Swanson, which is SWANSON.
Love it.
Anything else left to say, guys?
Ugh.
Gemini Man 420, coming to theaters June
No!
2023.
All of you are the worst. How could you?
Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself.
Deuces. Thanks for listening to another episode of Psychic Dolphin Garage. Check out our link tree in the show notes so you can join our Discord, watch us on Twitch, and find our podcast on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, or pretty much wherever you get your podcasts. Word of mouth is still the best way for us to bring this weird leftist show to as many people as we possibly can, so if you like the episode, please share it with someone. Anyone. Just one other person at your school or office or parole hearing who you think might like what we do. We trust your judgment. Go ahead and also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Dolphin Garage. Our music is provided by Amoeba Crew. Find them on Twitter at Amoeba Crew. You can find the link to their YouTube page in our episode description.